Hello everybody, welcome to Betway's Way to Win. We're going to have a look at race number 2 on the card in just a moment. We've got some messages to firstly tell you about. One of them being the Waiter to Win WhatsApp number, 0691643272. Hopefully you've sent your name and all of that you need to be part of it and get all the information conveniently. There's the QR code. If you haven't started betting with Betway, what you waiting for? Betway.co.za. There's the code. Just take your phone, snap away and upload you go. And go open your account and have fun. And it's Rashi's birthday. Can you believe that? That's why, I don't know if you guys can see the cake, but we'll get to see the cake in a moment. Daryl, Marie and I enjoying our cake, celebrating our makeup artist Rashi's birthday today. And we wish her everything of the best. Now, we've got some bipods to look at, so we're going to do that in a moment. Just let me quickly take you through what Betway's market looks like. We're doing this a few days before. Number 3, Curtis Condo tops the boards at 18-10. 1 Old Fashioned is 22-10 and 5-1 about Misty Metal. You can get 7-1 and better about the balance. It's good we're eating cake before the race, eh?
Rasha 21 again, eh?
She's 21 again. Okay, what? No litigated matters here. What's the story in the race?
Yeah, Old Fashioned. He's got the experience. What can I say, Clyde? His form is there for all to see. He's going to get it right one of these days. Mr. Janse van Vuren will have a good line because Hemisphere, his horse, beat Old Fashioned last time out. I must say that in that race, Old Fashioned was actually running on towards the end. Clyde? He's been stepped up to 1200. So maybe that's what he's looking for now. Curtis Condor. Huge anti-post support for this horse on debut. Then blew out come race time. He wasn't wanted. Came out the pens. All hope was lost. I mean, he failed to muster any early speed. He was languishing towards the back end of the field. Caught the eye in the latter stages. There's no doubt that run would have brought him on. I don't think he's an inside track horse, Clyde. But he could be way better than what he showed on debut. What I do want to say is Mr. Dean Kaname had a horse midweek. First time out, it was hopelessly tailed off. Second time in the race, going through the 400 was race over. So if this horse has got ability, I can see him winning his second start, especially in this type of lineup. I'm playing the safe routes. My third choice is number 9, Sylvan Warrior, the 2-year-old who was scratched midweek with a bruised 4. Vet certificate, let's see if he lines up. If you are playing trifectas and quartets, I'd focus on numbers 1, 3 and 9.
Okay, bipods, we're going 1 and 3. It's been on your screen long enough. Hopefully you got it down for you or you scan away at it at 192 Rand. Maiden class field now for the fillies and mares over 1200 metres. And early market at this point in time shows Sean Terry's horse Trail Runner, number 2 on the card, is favourite 33-20. 6 Blind Fire, the second choice at 5-2. 3-1 about the 7 Bright and Brazen. And then you get 8-1 and better about the balance. It is the start of the place accumulator, so don't forget to get those PAs on. We can start working on that now, Daryl, and talk about the favourite, who does look to be the right one. On form.
I think she is the right one. It's difficult, Clyde, because she's taking on 2-year-olds, and I don't know where these 2-year-olds are. What numbers are they? 6 and 7. Blind Fire and Bright and Brazen. Of the two, I prefer Bright and Brazen. You know, in both her starts today, she's been strongly fancied. I've just had a look at her breeding. I think she needs a mile and further. But it should be a testing 1200, and she's got that early gate speed. So I think she'll get into a prominent position and she'll run a much better race this time round. The other 2-year-old, Blind Fire, good improvements in her second starts. More pace. She learnt a lot from her debut efforts, and she just gave away late. I mean, he's teamed won by a distance himself. So you've got Gavin from Storgate number 1, which is half the battle won. So she's another one that receives 3 kilograms from the favourite Trail Runner. Now in form, Trail Runner should really be hard to beat because last time out when she ran third, second alongside her was Pumpkin Pie. Well, is it Pumpkin Pie? No. Yeah, pumpkin pie. What was that else the late Buddy Maroon had?
Same
Pumpkin?
pumpkin
What's a
pie.
pumpkin pie?
Was. Same was.
Um,
Same name.
Same name,
Same
yes, not the
was.
same was. He
Yeah.
came out and bolted up by 4 odd lengths.
Yeah.
And there was a horse that ran 7 lengths behind Trail Runner. That's come out and run second in his next start, and that's, or next 2 starts, and that's Mizzen Sword.
Yeah.
So I am leaning towards Trail Runner as the likely winner. However, I'm really keen to see how these 2-year-olds go, 6 and 7.
And see how the juveniles go. Yeah, that does look hard to beat Trail Runner, to be honest. Not sure how they're going to beat that. But PASV playing it safe because we just don't know where the juveniles are at this point in time. See how it all pans out. 192 Rand PA cost. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to now have a look at the first leg of the Pick 6. It's a graduation plate, a very interesting race too, over 1450 metres, and see how it all plays out. Early morning market in terms of the race, where Aristotle's odds on at 7 to 10, 2 Give Me Another Chance is 7 to 2, 3 Royal Force is 9 to 2, got Gavin Arena back on board, and 7 to 1 about 4 the Africa House. 10s and better about the balance. Hard to beat the favourite.
Clyde, if this horse runs in a straight line, I think he'll win, and he'll win well. No, it is a graduation plate, and he's not the best weighted. Funny enough, the best weighted is Give Me Another Chance, number 2. But how on earth can you fancy him on his run a week ago? I mean, he was beaten 21 lengths.
Yeah.
Now he's
Something
7
amiss.
days later. What's interesting is the blinkers come off, so maybe they're going to give him a more patient ride. But on his best form, I think he will pose a danger to the favourite. Aristotle, slightly disappointing somewhat last time out. However, he was beaten by a very, very nice horse in Kamensky, and the 2 of them hung across the track. I'm of the opinion he was a bit unfortunate in that race. Now he comes into this race super fit. Calvin gets a chance. He generally goes handy, so he might actually get first run if Give Me Another Chance is ridden colder this time around. Royal Force, well held by Aristotle. You can't really see him reversing that form, especially when it's the same weight terms. And the rest have really got a lot to do. Now, while that was actually the 3rd best in over here, and he's hopelessly off form at the moment. So you can't have confidence with regards to his chances. There is a horse in this race I am really looking forward to see how he goes in his first run as a gelding, and that's Shinto Shrine. He's got it all to do at the weights, but I can tell you something, Clyde. Next time out, when he strips fitter in a handicap, in the right field, I might have a tickle.
But all in all, we Aristotle, right?
Yeah, I think it's a case of Calvin getting the job done for the punters.
Okay, there was a lot said just to get to this.
Yes. So fire.
Goodness gracious, fire.
Yeah.
Let's eat some cake. Race 5. Let's move on now to this grad plate, and it's over the 1450 metres. Let's take a look at the morning market to give you an idea where we are with regards to an early look at it. And the bookmakers have got 5 to 2 about number 1, Frozen Fantasy. Well, Betway has anyway. 3 to 1 about the 3, Francillion. 2, Pointer. 9 to 2. 11 to 2 for Calantha. And you can get 8 to 1 about number 5, Scars of War. And then 10s and better about the balance. Now, there's a bit of a shrewdie that Daryl likes here. What's called Golden Moment. For the insure bet, we're recommending you take the 6.5 to 1 outright win. And if it happens to run 2nd or 3rd, you get your money back. But yeah, Daryl, let's have a look what happened at the rail there.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're only watching this the last 300 meters, Clyde, because in the early stages, she was towards the back of the field. She moved up really well, and then you can see in the latter stages, she's actually tiring over there. Interesting, just behind her on that occasion is a filly called Oxalis Gold, who's now rated in the hundreds. So I'm hoping this time around, Clyde, from a neat draw, she's put into the race early because she's super, super fit.
Yeah.
And she's going to have all the confidence in the irons from Craig Zaki. And I really see this race panning out well for her. At the weight, she's got to up her game. I mean, she's as much as 5 kilograms out with Frozen Fantasy. However, Frozen Fantasy, the best weighted. Last time out, she was also the best weighted. And in that race, there were fillies rated 82 and 79 just behind her in third and fourth. So she's got it all to do from a tricky draw. But on the ratings, she's going to be the filly to beat. Francillian, funny enough, was meant to run in that race that we just watched with Golden Moment. But she played up terribly and she never loaded. She needs to behave at the pens. And another filly that comes into this race is Calantha. Now, she had the worst of the draws last time out of a 1200, but in her penultimate start, Clyde went behind a Hotter Ruby. We've seen Press On Regardless win comfortably from there, and French Bolt too. She's going to be ridden quietly and she'll be running on. I don't know if she'll get there in time, so for that reason, I'm leaning towards Golden Moment because I really believe if she's up on the pace, she could keep rolling.
Okay, that could be our Shruti of the day, Golden Moment. There's the jackpot, everybody. Race number 6 on the card is a handicap at the 80 level over 14-15 metres. An interesting one too, early market. Let's take a look. And +4 is the favourite, priced up 22-10 for Candice Dawson, number 3 on the card. Gavin Larena is riding. 4 Corrupt is the second choice. It's currently trading at 33-10. 5-1 about number 2 Just Var. 6 There's a Light is currently trading 11-2. And 13-2 about number 1 Key News. You can get 8s or 10s and better about the balance. Tricky?
I'm not too sure, Clyde. Have a look at Just For. In great form. But I really believe, look at the penalty he picked up last time out. £6 for beating There's a Light. There's a Light himself went up to... Not too sure about that. Let's see how they go. They're both in cracking form. Diego's going to push forward on Just Bar. He's going to give it every chance. And Craig, from a neat draw on There's a Light, should be well positioned. I'm playing to beat them, though. I think the penalties they picked up might put them in their place. I don't know. I could be proven wrong. Corrupt, I think he's looking for much further. Watch this also when he goes 2,000 plus. +4. No 25-1 about him this time around, Clyde. But that was a effortless win. I mean, he sliced through the field at 400 meters from moment, was race over. Gavin had to do absolutely nothing on this horse. Yes, that was the right field for him to beat last time out because it lacked any depth and quality. And it's a tougher task this time round. But one has to believe he's come on with that effort. And he's come on substantially. So I think he can remain unbeaten on the half field for Candice. Gavin obviously sticks with him and he knows more about him in a race this time around. Now the danger, I'm leaning towards his number 7 Roaming Spirit, the filly. Now she's been very disappointing in her last 2 starts, but in her last start she had all the excuses under the sun. You can see as the pens opened, Cabela I'm sure was told to drop her out. And she got caught wide. Penultimate start, a little bit off the pace she stayed on. But I think off a 78... from a neat draw, Muzi this time around will have her much closer to the pace, if not in front. And we will see her bounce back to some good form over here. I'm going in the order 3 from 7. If you're not happy with those 2, you have to include Just For number 2, number 5 Spring Tradition, and number 6 There's a Light.
Okay, it depends which way you look at it. Either the way Darryl looks at it, making it 2 of them, or wider, and you have to put those that he's just recommended. On face value, in terms of what it looks like right now, it's 128 Rand cost. Race 7. Now we go to the handicap and it's at the 96 level. They're going over 1,800 meters. Tricky race this, one would have thought. And let me give you an idea what Betway was thinking a good number of hours ago around this particular event. And it's 4-1 the field. You can't blame them. 11 Kudzu's top of the boards at 4-1. 4 Kings Express is trading 5s. 5-1 about 9, 2 Miles West. 6-1 the 1 La Mahul. 7-1 the 5 Star Coin. And it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. Shruti, how are you? Field? Where are you with us?
No particular Shruti. I think the pace is going to be on here, genuine, because you got the likes of 2 miles west. I mean, Craig's taken him to the front before.
Yeah.
Royal Traditions, a natural front runner. King's Express can go handy, so I think the pace will be on. Kudzu, Clyde, if you recall, this is the first horse Johan Janse van Vuren sent out after his stable went through a very quiet patch with a virus, suspected virus, and one has to believe that he wasn't anywhere near his best because of what they encountered. So he got the job done on that occasion, and since then they've been having their winners. So I'm really keen to see how he goes, because if you see this horse in the flesh, you'll see why he's improving with racing. He's solid. He's got substance, and he's now filled out as a 4-year-old, and he's only going to get better with racing. So I think he's actually better than under 86, and the way the pace is lined up front, he should really get a beautiful trail just behind them. He's acted in the soft before, so I'm really keen to see him go back to back. Then you've got La Mourois. Now, he's obviously held by King's Express, but take note, he was returning from a very, very lengthy rest on that occasion. And since then, he put a cracking effort behind Tamara's Tree, flashing up late. This horse loves the wet. Third run after a rest. I think he's going to go very, very close.
Okay.
Then King's Express, exposed on the outside. I thought he was going to fall away. He was very gutsy in the finish. I've included him. He loves it over this course and distance. And Muzi gets on extremely well with him. And then 2 miles west. If he gets to the front and or handy, we know this horse has got all the ability under the sun to perform off this rating of a 90. So he forms part of my play.
Okay, not an easy race. Tricky. There are a few in here that can win. Or even like Star Coins coming down in the ratings, likes the wet. Poorly drawn, may have a bit of a squeak. But for pick threes, if you want to take a look at that, it'll cost you 64 Rand. Eighth race on the card now, handicap going 1800 metres, penultimate of the afternoon. And here's an idea if you don't know what the market looks like. 3-1 the field. 2 Dance Kings top of the boards, does seem to be above average and a decent sort. DJ Junior is the second favourite, and that's currently priced up 3-1. They're joints actually, 2 and 3. 6 Dark Silver is in at 7-2, and you can get 7-1 about the 4 Diesel Shadow. They keep raving about Dance King in terms of his ability, eh?
Clyde, what a win last time out. I mean, he was returning from a layoff on that occasion. It was his first handicap starts, and Wesley was going away from them in the latter stages. I just want to add that it is going to be a testing 1800 because the grain's going to be soft. And I had a look at his breeding. I'm not saying he's not going to see out the 1800, but you know, his dam placed, I think, in the East Cape Fillies nursery, and his siblings were 7 furlongs and milers. So he still needs to prove it on the track itself.
And it's probably a wet track, huh?
Yes. So for that reason, I have included others, but the form line's working out extremely well. I mean, Press On Regardless has won indirectly from there. And you know who was third in that race, Clyde? Solar Sail, who came out and ran third in the Derby. So the form line's working out well, and he's a nice improving 3-year-old, so respect for him. Then you got DJ June, must be the stable elect with Gavin riding over Diesel Shadow. Not much separating, there's not much separating Diesel Shadow and Dark Silver on form. But Gavin's opted to ride DJ Junior. He's won from one of the course and distance. He acts in the soft. He races well fresh. I mean, there's absolutely no negatives with regards to his chances. He is a 6-year-old though, but he's lightly raced. I mean, he's only run 11 times as a 6-year-old. Then you got Dark Silver's in really cracking form. Last time out, have a look at that, Clyde. He gave Solar Sail 3.5 kilograms. It looks like the race is going to be set up for him because Birthright's his stable companion. If he breaks well, he should go up front. And maybe Calvin can just slot in second and get a great tow through. So, although it's a small field, Claude, once again, I make this very, very competitive. Probably leaning towards Dark Silver as my number one choice. But like I say, in my doubles, I included all of numbers 1, 2, 3, and 6.
Okay, that's what it looks like, ladies and gents. 1, 2, 3, 6 now in the last race. 1, 3, 4, and 9. Welcome back, everybody. Let's get on now to our next event on the card. It's the final race, and hopefully all has been going well for everyone. It's also one of those trickier races on the card, and in terms of the market, let me give you some sort of guide as to what Betway are thinking. Gregarious, whom I personally think is hard to beat, is the 5-2 favourite. Tony Peter for the Gavin, well, with Gavin Arena on board. 4-1 Party is 7-2, 9-2 about one Exceedingly Glam, and then you can get 7-1 about Grant Maroon's runners, Rattlebag and In the Ether. It's the last stop of the day, Daryl. So we're getting off the bus, or what we're doing here?
Yeah, Claude, shame. How were the punters of One Party last time out?
Yeah.
I mean, before the line, they were head clear, not a short set ahead. After the line, they were head clear.
It's amazing how after the race, how many people had this in the pick six.
Yeah, yeah.
If you see that, look at my ticket, look at my ticket.
what
Look
they say?
after the
Yeah.
race, look at my ticket, look at my ticket. Not before the race.
That's the way the Boerewors spends.
Afterwards, they came and said, look, after. Like a Zorro, after.
They all fired afterwards.
Anyway,
Don't
well
hear a
played,
word
well
prior
played.
to that.
Yeah.
Clyde, music gets a great tune out of her. I mean, he's only sat on her 3 times for a win and a second. And last time out, she was basically a winner without a penalty. She's won on the inside track. She's very fit. I mean, Fani's obviously lined her up again because she's taken that race well. So I think she's going to go very close to getting it right this time around. Gregarious, I'm glad you touched on her. I know she is the current favourite, but have a look at that last form line, Clyde. She is a young 3-year-old filly, and in that race was Salute the Flag, Spring Tradition, Skittle Skies, Copper Mist, much stronger than what she meets over here.
But not a winner from there, eh? I mean,
I'm
that's the
not
only thing.
worried about that, Clyde.
Are you not?
She
I'm
had
just
it
saying
all
that
to
was
do last time
dead
out.
form line.
She
But
had
I like
it all
it.
to do.
Yeah.
Now she's been rested. Probably going to race fresh because they brought her back in trip. And Gavin knows what she's all about. He's only sat on her once and he won her penultimate start. Number 1, Exceedingly Glam. This is a lovely big filly. I think we haven't seen her anywhere near what she's capable of. I still think she's going to improve with racing and time. She enjoys this thing out the ground. Not too sure how she's going to go on this inside track though. But if she gets up handy from a neat draw, she will pose a factor. And then if you are one that watches replays, last time out, number 9, Oriental Bouquet. This filly was desperately unlucky. If she got a gap at the right time, she would have won that race. Now, unfortunately, she is drawn out 11, which will force them to drop her in once again. In the sticky conditions, let's see if she'll get there in time. But if she reproduces her last start of the same mark, I think she should fight at the finish. But I'm just worried that can she make it up on a soft track on the inside track.
That's our bet to the last race. Thanks for watching Betway's Waiter to Win.